In the chaos of World War II, there was a group of men whose bravery and ingenuity helped turn the tide of the war. They were the Navajo Code Talkers, a group of indigenous soldiers whose language became an unbreakable code and a critical tool in the fight for victory. By the early 1940s, the United States found itself fully engaged in World War II. Following the attack on Pearl Harbor, the U.S. military was facing a formidable enemy in the Pacific, Japan. Communication was key to military operations, but the Japanese were highly skilled at intercepting and deciphering coded messages. The U.S. needed a new and secure way to communicate. The solution came from an unexpected source: the Navajo Nation. The Navajo language, or Dine Bizad, is a complex, tonal language that was unwritten and virtually unknown outside the Navajo community. Philip Johnston, a non-Navajo who had grown up on the Navajo reservation, recognized the potential of using the Navajo language as a military code. He proposed the idea to the U.S. Marines, and soon, the Navajo Code Talker program was born. In 1942, the first group of 29 Navajo men was recruited into the U.S. Marine Corps. These young men underwent grueling basic training like any other soldier, but their mission was unique. They were tasked with creating an unbreakable code based on their language. Working together, they developed a system where Navajo words stood for military terms and letters of the alphabet, allowing them to transmit detailed information quickly and securely. The Navajo Code Talkers played a critical role in some of the fiercest battles of the Pacific Theater, including Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, and Okinawa. Using their unique code, they transmitted and received messages that directed troop movements, coordinated air strikes, and relayed vital information. The code was so effective that it was never cracked by the Japanese. The genius of the Navajo Code lay in its complexity and efficiency. While traditional codes could take hours to send and decode, the Navajo Code Talkers could transmit messages in a matter of minutes. The use of familiar Navajo words like turtle for tank or hummingbird for fighter plane made it easy for them to communicate quickly, while the intricacies of the language made it impossible for enemy forces to decipher. After the war, the Navajo Code Talkers returned home as heroes, but their contributions remained largely unrecognized. Their mission was top secret, and they were ordered to keep the code classified, even from their families. For decades, their story was hidden from the public, and they quietly returned to life on the Navajo reservation, their wartime efforts known only to a few. It wasn't until the late 20th century that the Navajo Code Talkers began to receive the recognition they deserved. In 1968, the code was declassified, and the story of these brave men began to emerge. In 2001, President George W. Bush awarded the original 29 Navajo Code Talkers the Congressional Gold Medal, and in the years since, memorials and museums have been established to honor their contributions. The Navajo Code Talkers are more than just war heroes. Their story is a reminder of the importance of language, culture, and identity. Their contributions not only helped win a war but also highlighted the invaluable role that indigenous peoples have played in the defense of this nation. The Navajo Code Talkers were unsung heroes for far too long. Their bravery, sacrifice, and brilliance will never be forgotten. They gave their all not just for their country but for the future of their people. Today we honor their legacy and their enduring contribution to history.